Good evening, everyone. Okay, let me just open my presentation and then we'll get started. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll talk about my introduction again in the next slide. So to begin with, I'm just reading out a quote written by Mahatma Gandhi. It is health that is real wealth and not the pieces of silver and gold. And I think most of you would agree with me on this, at least after demonetization and COVID and so many things happening. Anything can go away in minutes from you, but it's only this body, this health will remain with you, which will help you in whatever situation you are, right?
Absolutely. I'm sorry, so panelists are mute.
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
Okay. So this is my journey till 2013. I'm a computer professional. I'd worked with IT industry for around 17 years, TCS and Genpact, two companies in 17 years. So with that, when I look back at my life, how I lived my life, and I have just put in these three words for myself that during those years, I definitely enjoyed my life. I earned a lot, I spent a lot, and I also wasted a lot. This is the life which I lived, and owing to the corporate lifestyle, the number of hours and the stress which we have in the corporate, or even the other working areas also, what comes with you is the sedentary lifestyle. If you work from 9 to 9 or 10 in the night, you hardly get any time for yourself to connect with you, to do anything for your health. And you were just after your corporate career. So with that, I had a chronic issue of sinusitis and a couple of maybe few kgs overweight I was at that time. So these were two issues which I was struggling, and prominently it was sinusitis, which I was actually suffering for a good 15, 16 years. And I tried everything, allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda. Homeopathy definitely helped me to some extent till the time I started naturopathy. So somebody just exposed me to this word naturopathy. I heard it for the first time in 2012, and word naturopathy. I was not aware that there's something like this existed, and I'm not sure in this group how many of you have heard of this word. But wherever I go, out of let's say 100 people, only 5-6 people say, okay, I have heard this name. It's more probably known in South, but not across India. So I did not believe, because the person who recommended to me that you should try naturopathy, she was doing a weight loss program. So I thought, okay, if you eat less, you will lose weight. There is nothing, magical about it. So I took it as just as a challenge, that next time if it happens to me, because I used to get attacks every second month, and I used to take antibiotics every second month. So just imagine the number of antibiotics have gone inside my body during those years. So I said, if anything can impact my condition, I will only believe that science. So it happened, and we called the doctor, and the doctor said, what you can do next 2 days, 3 days, just you be on liquids. You can choose liquids, whether it is juice or soups or water, anything. And I was like, how the hell do you survive just staying on liquids? Because it's a natural conditioning that people, when you are sick, people take care of you so much that they are around you. You should eat something. They're checking on you. Have you eaten something? If you don't eat something, then you will not. How will you get energy to revive back? But if you ask yourself, all the people on call, whenever you fall sick, do you feel like eating? For everybody, anybody can answer, Girish, Shairi. Whenever you are sick, do you feel like eating? What is your natural response, your body's response?
I think the loss of appetite is the first thing which just takes over. So, yeah.
Yeah, your taste bud changes. You don't want to eat. You are not at all interested. Even your favorite pizza comes in front of you, you will not say, I want to eat it. right? So that's the natural response. But unfortunately, we are conditioned to ignore what our body is telling and do something which is other people telling us or the environment telling us, right? So that's what was my response. But as a challenge, I said, if I've tried so many things, let me try this also this time. And I did it, and I would call it as a magic of my life, because first time without any medicine, I bounced back within 3 days, which used to take 8 to 10 days with antibiotics and so many medication. So I was like, what is this? And I searched the word, what is naturopathy, how it works. I read everything on, this thing. And then I called the doctor. I did a proper treatment after that experience for good 3 months. And it's been last 7 years since I've taken any kind of medication for any kind of health issues. Because once you learn how your body heal itself, then actually for most of your issues, you don't need your health issue, any medicine. After that, I treated my son also, who was a bronchitis patient, who was on inhalers, and we treated him. He's also off medication. I have two children, 19 and 12 years old, and both of them, they are on zero medication. We live in Gurgaon, which is, if you see the pollution levels across the year, it is very, very high. It's very difficult. Every second, third child here are facing breathing issues, but they are living without any medication, which means it is possible. Even if you live, whatever is your external environment, it is possible for you to live healthy if you follow the right principles. So with that, with my experiences, I thought, if it is so magical, so simple, you can do at home, why people, I felt for the first time, I'm an educated fool. What I was doing for last 15 years, I was an educated fool. If I did not understand my own body, forget about changing the world or doing anything for the world. Right. So that's the experience I got. And I realized that people are not doing it because they don't know it. The way I heard it for the first time, people don't know, and they were not trained to believe in this, that your body can heal itself. This sentence doesn't go in people's mind. Even my own mother till today, even if I am doing it, she is the only one who doesn't follow my advice, because she is conditioned that even if she has headache, only a pill will go into her mouth, and then only any change will happen, right? So that has to change. So with that, I thought I will do something to at least promote this and spread awareness about it, and do whatever I can do, for the wellness of people. And that's how we started the organization called EcoLive. And I also run a not-for-profit organization, Healthy Lives Foundation, where we educate people on naturopathy, on other healing systems also. So healing the body and mind, that's what we do for people. Okay, so I picked up this survey, which was done by ESOCAM, and where they picked up top corporate health concerns. And this is true, the percentage is true even today. The maximum issue is depression and anxiety, which is basically mental wellness issues, which the industry is facing. And then obesity, high BP, diabetes, neck and back problems, heart disease, and breathing issues. Now, if you see the list, most of these issues are because of lifestyle. These are not diseases which we inherit. Diabetes is to some extent, if it is in genes, there is a high probability you will get it. It's not for sure that you will get it, but there is a probability. But rest of the issues are due to lifestyle. And trust me, for all the issues listed here, you don't need any medication. If you have any of these issues, to begin with, you don't need any medication. But yes, if you keep not doing anything about these issues, and then definitely you will require any help, in terms of medical science or whatever, if it is a surgery or a physiotherapy, because it is nature. Nature will help you to some extent. If your organ has been damaged, it can't be reversed. So if you wake up early, it is very good. So frankly speaking, naturopathy was actually started, if you happen to go to visit the ashram which was set up by Mahatma Gandhi. It's near Pune. The place name is Urli Kanchan. They started this center in 47 or 48, and where they actually wanted to train or helping people in village area who could not afford medical support. So they were using all nature's element to heal themselves. So it's very old, but very, very powerful. So now looking at this, if we can just roll out that poll that I want all of you to answer, do you feel that you are 100% healthy with no health issues? Not even digestion issue, not even headache issue, not even back pain. If you feel, do you feel you are 100% healthy? If we can just roll out the poll, Shairi.
Yeah, just. Dave, I may need a little help from you in launching the poll. Rest of the panelists and attendees, while we are trying, can we also start responding on chat in case the poll does not come live? So the question that Vinod Kumar is asking here, Vinod, do you want to say that out loud again?
Do you feel that you are 100% healthy with no health issues?
Okay.
And when you say healthy, some people, when I talk to them, they say, I'm taking diabetes medication, so my sugar is under control and I'm healthy. So my parameter is within the limits, so I'm healthy. No, that's not the definition of being healthy. I'm talking about no dependence on medication, and you are 100% healthy with all the parameters right, no physical symptoms, and you are able to perform your best, and you are happy. You are happily doing your work with full energy. That is the real definition of being healthy, 100% healthy.
Okay, so if we are looking at the chats, I think we have a mix of yes and no. So I think no is actually leading more than the yeses.
And yeah, that has been my experiences, and I've done a session even in armed forces where the attendance was 200, 250. Even there, I have not experienced more than 5% people saying I'm 100% healthy. So that's the situation today, what we have done with our health. It's not a surprise, and we will get to know while we talk later on the principles if we are not following why we are sick. So that you will get that answer in the discussion later. But that is the situation everywhere: schools, colleges, corporates, armed forces, societies, everywhere I go.
But how do we define 100% healthy? Like, that's so subjective.
And that's what I'm saying. If you are able to do your regular work with full enthusiasm, full energy, so you're not lack of energy, you're not having pains in your body, anything which you feel as a hindrance in your day-to-day life, that is where you can say, I don't have any issues, I can do my work, all the work with full energy, and I'm also happily doing it. And we'll talk about, my next question to people is, and I would want some people to respond, talk about it. How do you define health? You already, you were asking, how do we say we are 100% healthy? So for that, we have to understand what is health? How do you define being healthy, or what is health? If some of you can just talk about your definition.
Do we have any volunteers?
It should be basically all the three aspects: social, physical, and mental, at least at a broader level.
Beautiful. Yeah. So we have got best answer from the student. I shouldn't have started from him.
I did my UPSC classes seriously when I was in 12th standard.
Beautiful. Any other response?
I think we have one answer: physically and mentally, socially happy. I think
Wow.
healing by example.
Oh, good. I have good students today. Okay. So this is the definition given by WHO. a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Typically, I also get answer from people that I'm healthy because I don't have any health issues. Unfortunately, that's not the right answer, because your disease doesn't manifest in 1 day, 10 day, or 15 days. It's a month's process. Sometimes you will not even feel it, and it is there in your body, right? So that is the holistic definition of health. So whenever, since we are in December and January, everybody is so enthusiastic about planning their health, good health. And typically people, just plan for the physical. They in enthusiasm go and join a gym, Pilates, or whatever physical workout. That's the definition which people have. So with this, I would request all of you, when you plan health in 2021, please plan activities in all these aspects, because you would have seen people around you, that people who are even fit physically, they still have mental health issues. Still, they are not healthy. They are not able to perform their best, right? And people who are not connected to society, even they are not able to perform to their best. So all these aspects you have to work simultaneously to stay 100% healthy and happy. So this is the scenario today. A couple of things are not in our control. If there is pollution outside, or hectic schedule, if you have to work 10 hours, or adulterated food. Some are there in our control. So we are not doing exercises. We don't have knowledge about what to eat right. So many issues. And with that, we have so many, if there are so many challenges, people start getting some health issues. And it starts with one health issue. We go to the doctor, we get some medication, and then after 2 years, we add one more medicine to it. So it's a vicious cycle. If you don't focus on it, it will keep on increasing. And let me say here, I'm not against allopathy or any other science. What I'm saying, that you should be an aware user or aware person, that if your body can heal itself, so as a first step, there is no need to go for external support, which is allopathy medicine, in the first step. So for example, if there is cough, cold, viral, these small things which are lifestyle based diseases, and knowing that our body can heal itself, first option should be naturopathy or the alternative systems. And if you are not able to cure with alternative, you should definitely take the support from medical science, in terms of you're doing test, or if there is any surgery required, it is required, and it has done wonders for people. So everything is best in certain situation. Please know which science to use where. And today I will talk about just naturopathy, but be aware user, and use as per your need. So we say the only solution in the current situation is go back to nature. There is no other solution to heal yourself, to be happy in this environment, than going back to nature. Okay, so what is naturopathy? Before that, let me just give you a quick idea about, we have a separate ministry in India, Ayush, which is consisting of all the alternative systems of medicine. So A is Ayurveda, Y is yoga and naturopathy, U is Unani, S is Siddha, and H is homeopathy. So we have these alternative systems as part of Ayush ministry. So it is a certified treatment which are done by certified doctors. There are different doctors of these streams, and you should always consult with the designated or a proper doctor in that stream. So let's talk about naturopathy. You must have, Ayurveda is very popular. So, Ayurveda has herbal medicine, or homeopathy also has plant-based medicines. But in naturopathy, there is no medicine. There is no medicine used, not even herbal powders, not even any herbal medicines to begin with, to treat any kind of health issues. Because naturopathy works on the principle that your body has the power to heal itself. How many of you believe in this, that our body can heal itself? Just raise your hand, maybe I can see it in the videos. Okay, some of you do believe. Okay, So in our childhood, whenever, even now, if you get hurt, these are very simple examples. Even if you don't go to doctor, your body heals itself. You get a cut and you just leave it for some time, your body repairs. Even in the internal healing, a lot of time you get cut in your mouth and it gets healed itself. So this is a natural process of body which is already there as per the design. So naturopathy just uses that power and then gives some support from the natural elements to actually speed up your healing process. So there is no medicine used. It says your body can heal itself, and it uses the 5 great elements of nature: water, air, earth, heat. These natural elements are used in naturopathy to heal your body. The most beautiful thing which I loved, because I used to read Six Sigma, all those things. So this line, I love it, that it removes the root cause of the illness and not just the symptom. Now, typically, if you see, whenever we take medication, it always works on managing your symptoms. If you have fever, you take something, your temperature goes down. If you have any other symptom, if you have headache, maybe you give something and it goes down. If you have acidity, let me take an example. Acidity is such a common issue, and I am shocked to hear that people tell me, I've been taking acidity medicine for last 15 years. Then I ask them, if you've been taking for 15 years, why is it not cured till today? Why you have to take every day morning? Because the principle is not to cure it. It is just to manage. Your body is every day generating excessive acid. The tablet is just doing to neutralize it. We are not doing anything in that science, that why your body is generating extra acid and how to reduce it. So that is working at root level. So naturopathy works on the root cause, that whatever is the issue, go that, underneath issue, fix that. Then you don't need any other support. And in this science, food is used as medicine. As we said, we don't use any other medicine. So food is used as medicines, and we'll talk about little in detail about the food. I'll give you some tips which you can use on day-to-day basis to heal yourself, to stay healthy. But this is the medicine used in naturopathy. And it emphasizes on the importance of living in harmony with nature. Trust me, this is, it might sound, and it sounded to me also 7 years ago. This line didn't mean anything to me, but once you experience it, you have to understand everything is connected in this universe. You are connected to the environment is connected to you. When I go in meetings, people have hundreds of plastic bottles, in their board meetings. And then I ask them, how many of you want pesticide free or, best vegetables? Everybody raises their hand. And then you ask them, where are these plastic bottles going? It's going in the soil, and that soil is being used to grow your vegetable, and it's coming back to you. So you have to understand that you are not in silos, staying in a separate, apartment, which is 3 crore, or your salary is 1 crore, and you can buy best of the vegetables. No, nothing can save you. You are connected. Whatever you do, it will impact everybody on this planet. And that is what you have to understand to stay healthy. So there are typically 3 things when we talk about naturopathy treatment, and you can do it yourself at home also. So as the first important thing which we talked about, the food, and I've written therapeutic diet. Now, why I'm calling it therapeutic diet? Because if I'm saying that food is medicine for me, that means I should be eating food which is good for me, for my body. So your food has to be always according to your health. I typically see people, somebody does a weight loss program, and, our friends ask, oh, you lost 10 kgs, give me your diet plan. And the other person also follows the same diet plan to lose weight. They might lose weight, but they end up with some other issues, acidity or any skin allergy or some other allergy, because every body is unique. Your health conditions are unique. Ideally, even the food should change from, when you were a child or an adult, or when you are 40 plus, because your health conditions are changing. So you should always be eating therapeutic diet as per your health condition. And a typical naturopathy doctor will guide you what is good for you. So one takeaway from this slide is never ever copy anybody's food, because it is something which makes you, which impacts your health. It has to be good for you. And trust me, in this nature, nothing is bad. No food is bad. Anything which is created by nature is good for specific condition, for specific people. So you need to know what is good for me. Lemon is not good for everybody in every situation. For some condition, it is like a poison. Typically, people think, having lemon water is very good for health. No. So you need to understand what is good food for your health. And second is yoga asanas and pranayams. These are prescribed because yoga is the only form of exercise which has healing powers. It has specific asanas for specific health conditions, and which guides you, to improve your health. And third, as I said, we use 5 great elements to heal your body, right? So I'll talk about a little bit about food after this. Now, typically people ask me, if there is no medicine use, what all condition can you treat? Anybody, any kind of health issues, whatever you have can be treated in naturopathy. There are residential center, wherever you are staying, you can figure out any place near to you. If you can go there, maybe detox your body or take guidance from them for any kind of health issues, whatever listed on the screen can be healed through naturopathy. Okay, so moving to the food part, the important part. So let me ask some of you, what is food for your body? How do you define food and how do you choose good food?
Such a difficult question.
One
Yeah.
one should feel comfortable after having it. That's the first. That's what I do nowadays.
But isn't that about the quantity then? Like,
I think it is quantity. You eat less and you are fine with that. But more importantly, I end up eating anything that comes my way. Just control the quantity as much as possible.
Yeah, so it's also about, feeling light after you have eaten. So it can be quantity and also something which is matching to your body's need. Sometimes even if you have eaten very less, and if it is the wrong food, it will give you discomfort, right? So if you eaten right as per your body, you'll feel good. So the crux is listen to your body. Sometimes people say, it is suiting to my family. My husband can eat it. I can't eat it. I said, you need to listen to your body. If it is not suiting your body is telling you, I don't like it. So it's okay. Either work on that issue or just don't eat it. And sometimes you have to just accept, your body is changing. You're moving from place to place. It is experiencing so many external things. So sometimes it might say, we as also a human being sometimes say, abhi mujhe ye acha nahi lagta hai, ya abhi ye acha nahi lagta. Similarly, your body also says. So sometimes listen to it and don't give it a discomfort, right? And with age also, sometimes your preferences, your taste bud also changes. So whatever you are liking, just have it. So let's see quickly what is food for your body. I always, give an example that our body is like a machinery, like your car, and food is the fuel for your body. If you have a petrol car, what do we fill in that car? The best petrol. Do you ever fill diesel because it is cheaper? No. Do you ever fill it with water or sometimes, or say, I don't have time to fill the petrol because I'm too busy? No, you can't, afford to do these things. So we are very particular about the machinery. We give the best thing, whatever it is needed, as per the manual. And that's why it is running it as per its best way. Unfortunately, we don't read our own manual, what is needed for our body. And thankfully, God had designed it in such a way that even if you put something wrong, probably 50% wrong also, it still functions. Thankfully. Otherwise, car में आप डीजल डालोगे तो 10 किलोमीटर बाद भी नहीं चलेगी. वो 10 किलोमीटर भी I think मुश्किल चलेगी, right? So it is an intelligent system. Even if you are giving it wrong fuel, it still functions, but definitely it will impact your performance. So it is the fuel for your body. It gives us energy to do our activities. It helps us to grow. So basically what I'm saying is we are made up of food. I want all of you to sink in with this thought that we are made up of food. We were born with 2.5 kg or 3 kg of weight, and after that the only thing which has gone inside our body is the food. There is nothing else which helps us to grow, which helps us to become what we are today, right? So it is the food which is making us. So definitely your health is directly related to what are you eating. Yes, you can say when you are young, I want to enjoy life, and I want to eat and explore whatever is there on this planet. So either you listen today or you listen at the age of 60 when doctor tells you want to live, or it's your choice, right? You have to balance it out. I'm not saying you can't enjoy, but you need to understand the equation, how your body functions. And I'll give you some principles or some tips that how you can enjoy the food also which you want to enjoy. But please sink in with this thought that your food is making you. You are made up of food. So we'll talk about what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. Typically, what to eat, most of you know what is healthy, what is unhealthy, and this is the only thing which people talk about mostly. But when to eat and how to eat is also equally important, because even if you eat best of the food and your body is not able to digest, because eventually what you need is energy from that food. And if your body is not able to digest and absorb the nutrition, that best food is waste. And even if you process and you are not able to excrete in the best possible way, again it goes waste. So the whole, these things, how to eat, when to eat, and what to eat are equally important. So I'll talk about two concepts today: alkaline versus acidic food. Maybe one of you can just answer. Do you have any idea about alkaline food and acidic food?
Yeah, we generally kind of understand that at a high level.
Yeah, so we say water is neutral, right? It's a parameter to gauge,
Yeah.
right? So water is neutral, and typically if you see on the right side, our blood pH is little bit towards alkaline only, right? So it's towards alkaline only. So being a educated person, it's a common sense of our overall blood pH. So typically what we should be eating, we should keep our environment more towards alkaline side. So it's a nature's principle. That is what you have to maintain. If that becomes more acidic, you will fall sick. So to stay healthy, what we need typically close to 80% alkaline and 20% acidic food. And what we are giving to our body is exactly opposite. And let me define the food: alkaline food, fresh fruits, vegetables, sprouts, nuts, lemon; acidic food, cereals, maida, sweets, fat, non-veg, canned fruits, spices, milk and milk products. These comes in acidic category. So think of last 2 meals which you had, maybe the lunch and the last dinner or breakfast, and write in chat box if anybody has eaten more than 40% alkaline food. So I'm not saying acidic food is bad. What I'm talking about is the percentage. So which means your vegetables and these things should be higher than the other cereals or maida or the processed food. So Shari, if you can just read chats for me,
It's just something that, okay, someone's written Coke and lime.
Okay.
Someone's written 10% is alkaline or 10% is, I have submitted 20% alkaline, and someone else has written.
So it's not more than 40%. That's the highest number which I've heard from people. Some of you, there are very few people, those 5% which I said, they raise their hand, I'm healthy. It directly matches with that. People who would, even they have not responded here, if you have eaten more than like 60-70%, you must be definitely healthy. Your health must be better because you are aligning with your nature, the way your body is designed. So what I'm saying that you have 3 or 4 meals in the day. So what you need to learn as a smart user is understand this body, how this functions. Now, even if I want to enjoy one meal, let's say I want to have Golgappa, that's my favorite food sometimes. So then what you need to do, think of the previous meal and think of the next meal and try to balance that. If I have eaten acidic in one of the meal, can I eat more alkaline in the rest of the 2 meals? And that's a smart choice which you need to make, and that will not impact your health that much. If you can't balance on the same day, at least balance in 1 day or 2 day maximum. So try to balance this, even if you are eating out in any party or anything, try to balance it by eating more alkaline food. The second concept is live versus dead. I'm not talking about veg or non-veg here. I'm talking about the food which has life. So let's take an example. I mean, some of you might have some farms. So if you buy anything, let's say an apple from the market, which is frozen or whatever, but it is shiny red, and you pick up that, and the other one, which is from your farm, just plucked today, which will give you more life? One of you can answer. Which will give you more energy, more nutrition? Just answer that.
Do we have any volunteers for answering?
One from the farm.
It's obvious it will be from the farm.
Why? Why do you think so? What is the difference between these two?
It's pressure.
So what happens if it is 2 days old or 3 days old? So with the time, what happens? I want to ask.
Degeneration.
Yes. So the life or the prana. So if you pluck an apple and just keep it on your dining table for 5 days and see how it is going down, so that is nature. Now what people have done in the market, even if that apple has come from Gala US apple, it is still shining red and it is looking so fresh. It is looking fresh, but what is there inside, you don't know. You might feel very happy about it. I can afford this 500 rupees kg apple, and this is best for my children. You can think like that, but unfortunately that's not the truth. So if you have bought that apple, forget about any health or any nutrition from that, because it is nature. Day by day it will degrade only. You can just make it shining from outside. So that's what I'm talking, that for the health, try to eat more of live food, at least 70% live food. And you can afford to eat maybe 30% dead. But again, what we are doing here is exactly opposite. And let's look at what is live and dead. Live is local, seasonal, fresh fruit and vegetables, eating things which are if it is winter, eat winter vegetable. If it is summer, eat summer vegetables. Sprouts, soaked nuts, natural oils. Dead food, maida, ready to eat meals, frozen food, all these things comes under dead food. Now again, think of your last 2 meals and see if you have eaten maybe more than 40% live food.
Five %, maybe 2%.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we buy vegetable once a week. So it's, so the maximum fresh vegetables we will get is like 2 days old, even when you have it on the first day.
Yeah. I used to love big refrigerator. I used to think I will buy that 2 lakhs wala this thing. And after the naturopathy, I actually don't need. I feel that even the smaller fridge is fine, because I'm actually buying, once either daily or at the maximum 2 days of gap. Even if I have to go out, I do that. So I have stopped stocking for 10 days, 15 days. Because if that's not helping, then why to do it? So how we can do it, right? So if people say, if I'm in metro, how can we do it? So at least we can do whatever is in our capacity. So for example, if you take an apple, rather than buying apple which comes from different country, maybe buy apple which comes from Himachal and buy fresh, which has just come in the market. Try to do that. Try to support local farmers. Nowadays, there are a lot of communities which have come together to support farmers. In Gurgaon, we have lots of them. I buy vegetable from a local, a farmer which is just 30-40 kilometers from here, and he gets vegetables for us. So like that, you can create a group and you can start getting these things fresh, which is possible. So try to get more of fresh things and use natural oils, not thinking that canola oil or these oils which comes from outside only, these are healthy. Those are only marketing gimmicks. So even the oil, choose. If you're in South, what is good for you? Maybe coconut oil. If you're in North, where we are eating mustard oil or sometimes til oil, so choose whatever is local. Even if you go outside India, don't try to eat vegetables which are in India. No, if you're in US, whatever you are grown there, whatever you get there fresh, try to eat that. So that's the simple rule. Just follow nature, right? And try to eat seasonal. Once in a while, you can try it for a taste. So for example, people tend to stock these peas in winters, right? And they want to use it summer. You can use it for your taste once in a while, because you miss those peas, but don't tell your child you have to eat green vegetable because it is very healthy. After 3 months, it's not at all healthy. It is just good for your taste. You can just enjoy it for a day. Okay, so for the best meal, again, understand this equation, that how you can balance it. Even if sometime you have eaten dead food, you have eaten, let's say, samosa or something, maybe try to eat healthy food in the next 2 meals. Does anyone have any question?
No, these are really good high-level tips to control what we eat.
And these are very simple, just pick
Yeah.
up small tips and just follow, and you'll see difference within 1 month in your health. Now, the second point is when to eat. Again, common sense. This planet, everything works on the time. Sun comes, 12 o'clock, midday, then it goes down. Similarly, your body is also has biological clock. So try to, again, support it. Follow the nature. Try to eat as per your body. So what happens in the body? In the morning, it tries to, it is an elimination time from morning, let's say 4 o'clock till 10 or 11, it is your elimination time where your body is trying to excrete the things. So that's the time when you should be eating maybe more of, you choose best of fruits, your juices, your soaked nuts. You can have all those things in the morning, which is very good for your health, right? And then from 12 to 8, it is the time. So your digestive fire is always aligned with your sun. It will always be at its peak when the sun is there. So try to eat your principal meals during the, when sun is there. So between 12 to 8, if you can finish. 12, I'm sure, you can achieve. 8 o'clock, I'm not sure. Many people, maybe because of their work, they can't achieve. So maybe then after 8, eat very light meal. So what I'm saying, don't eat heavy things after 8. So 12 to 8 is your ingestion time. You want to eat best of your food with full quantity, eat it, enjoy it. It will just get digested like that. And the most important time is the night time, from 8 or 9 or onwards till 4. It is your body's recuperation time. It is the time your body does repair, any wear and tear done during the daytime, it tries to repair. Now, what happens here, typically, if you don't follow this, dinner time on the thing, and if you come back home at 11 o'clock and orders, a heavy pizza or a butter chicken, so you are actually impacting your body's functionality that time. See, you are also part of IT and these systems. It needs downtime. So if you have a scheduled downtime, that 12 to 8 hours downtime, can you say, you again bring up your server back? No, we don't have time. We have to do business, this. No, you can't do it. Once in a while, maybe, some exigency and you have to do it. It's okay. But what we are doing it on regular basis. Every time your body tries to repair something and you do something else, and then again, it has to digest. So leave the repair work, digest. Leave the repair work, digest. Now, if you do it, over a continued period of time, it will have impact on your health, because you're not allowing it to repair, right? So align your dietary habits as per these timings.
Okay.
The last slide,
I'm so sorry to cut it short. We are a little short of time.
Yeah, this is the last slide. I'm just
Perfect. We have a couple of questions also from the audience. I'll just address it after this.
sure.
Please continue.
And last is how to eat. What is the best way to eat your food? The first line I would want all of you to sink in, that it is something, you are made up of food. It is something which is giving you life. So something which is giving you life, please give it the food, the respect it deserves. Typically, we are eating while talking, we are eating while working lunches, and so many things. We don't have time to do anything for this. In India, we say, आप काम कमाते क्यों हैं? तो क्या बोलते हैं? पेट के लिए और भी ऐसे कुछ बोलते हैं, right? So अगर उसके लिए कमाते हैं तो please give that 10-15 minutes undivided attention to your food, which will give you health. Eat slowly. Chewing is very, very important because your digestion starts from your mouth. So give that much time to your body, and do not do multitasking. Now, 3-4 tips. One is related to water. So if you can't take up anything else from this whole discussion, one, improve your water drinking. So at least 2.5 to 3 liter water drinking everybody. If you can just change this one thing, it will change your life. Then follow the nature, go for local, seasonal, and do not drink water in between the food because it will impact your digestion, right? So just change these couple of things and it will improve your health a lot. Invest in your health, learn the art of eating right, and detoxify your body. Visit your nearby center and learn about cleansing your body, because there are a lot of toxins which we are getting from the food and outside. It is very important to cleanse and do a maintenance of this body at least once in a year. So with that, I close. If there are some question, I'll take up that, and then I'll do 2 minutes laughter yoga. I can't hear you, Shari. I think you're on mute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Thank you, Vinod. I think, while we are aware of so many of the pointers, it's so difficult to be conscious of it in our everyday lives and, maintain them. But I think we need regular sessions from you to, keep us on track. But so a couple of questions that I saw, one was from Nimish. He asks whether, what is the best food to eat for sternum costochondritis issues? If you have any specific answers, or I can ask him to, get back to you separately.
I think for specific condition, I would not be answering here, because then we have to go to a specific history of the condition. If there is a generic question, you can let him ask, contact me separately, and we will guide him. But
Sure.
if there is generic question related to what I have discussed today, I will give you basic tips. But
Sure.
not for specific condition, because it is not one thing which impacts you. We work on holistic health. So even if you have one condition, one question you will ask me, let's say for diabetes, I will still ask how many other health condition you have, because everything is connected. With diabetes, if you have thyroid, then your food changes. If with diabetes, if you have BP, your food changes.
Makes sense.
Because your food is your medicine.
So Nimesh, if you're listening to us, do try to get in touch with Vinod Kumari. She will help you out and guide you. We have one more. I mean, that was also a little specific to schizophrenia, but I think
so I'm not giving tips related to that. I can just give some guidance about the condition. People, these schizophrenia or these stress related issues,
Right.
people have termed it as a disease or a mental condition. Unfortunately, it is not. It is just the way you have trained your mind, and it can be changed by changing your mind's programming. If you can understand the programming concept, it's like your software is functioning in a bad way. Some, malware or something is there which you need to fix, which can be fixed. And trust me, medicine is not the solution. The split personality or these things, people are just going on medication, and that medicine is just what they are doing. They're just reducing your mind's chatter, and they're bringing your, efficiency down. And gradually, you'll not be able to perform to your best. So please do not, go for those things unless until it is very critical stage in the beginning. Even for depression and all of that, I'll probably take a separate session on mind. It's a very deep subject, but definitely you can come out of it by training your mind, actually.
Yes.
It's not a disease. That's the only thing I can tell you. It's not a disease.
I think for one-to-one questions, it's better that we have the attendees reach out to you personally. I think let's just proceed on to the laughter session. I think I'm very curious to see how that is, and then we'll round this up.
Sure. So can we have more videos on? I'm seeing only 4. Just a minute.
So I think this is because your screen is being shared.
Okay. So should I just stop this?
Sure. If you don't need the screen, then you can stop.
We don't need. Okay. So I would request some more videos so that I feel more connected talking to people.
And
it's very difficult.
We can laugh just on that request, people.
So do not become conscious about what you are wearing, where you are sitting. If your child is with you, if you're cooking in the kitchen, it's fine. Everything is okay. We will laugh.
So
yeah,
we can have
I'll just. So laughter, how does it help? I was just talking about mind. So your mind does not understand what is real and what is not real. And the clear example is, if you're watching a movie, if somebody dies, somebody's mother dies, Amitabh's mother dies in the movie, it's a movie, it's his mother, not my mother, still you're crying. Why? Because your mind doesn't understand what is real, what is not real. And it reacts to that emotion. So similarly, when you do this laughter, even if you are under stress, आज बहुत बुरी मीटिंग हुई, बॉस ने डांटा, कुछ भी, even if you do this laughter, your body will feel you are very, very happy. And it will respond to that emotion, what you are doing, right? So it's a very effective technique of reducing your stress and giving that happiness to your mind, irrespective of what's happening in your external world. So I recommend everybody that you do it. It just take 2-3 minutes with your team, especially when you have a bad meeting. Okay, so let's start. So in India, जब हम मिलते हैं क्या नमस्ते करते हैं, right? How do we do it? Namaste. So now what we'll do with the namaste, with every activity we will laugh, and at the end of it, what we will do Om ha ha ha. So 2 times Om ha ha ha. So just practice with me. Om ha ha ha.
Unmute, please, guys. Unmute.
Yeah.
Om ha ha ha.
Yes. Once we finish, then we'll do it, right? After every exercise. So let's do namaste. So when we, so let's greet each other, namaste, and say, Om ha ha ha. Om Okay. Who all likes to play Holi? Raise your hand. Holi, है ना? So Holi में कितना मजा आता है? You see everybody, it's so funny. सबका face इतना funny होता है, and you keep laughing. कैसा शक्ल दिख रहा है, and you don't know आपका कैसा दिख रहा है, right? So we'll imagine today is the day of Holi. We are playing Holi. Everybody is colored, and we will look at each other and we'll laugh.
It's a cool idea.
Chandrasekhar, look at your face. laugh at somebody and name it.
We should do this regularly now.
Beautiful. Please cooperate. Don't think you are a grown up adult. मैं VP हूँ ये नहीं. आप WhatsApp पे तो सब हंसते हैं, right? LOL. कितना सब हंसते हैं.
ROFL.
emojis होती हैं वो, और कुछ नहीं
ROFL. Anybody who's writing ROFL on WhatsApp, can somebody show me how do you do that physically?
not possible.
Not possible, right? Om, ha, ha, ha. Om,
Om,
ha, ha.
There are
Chalo.
more,
The
there are more
last
people
one
here laughing at
is
me, looking
very
at me.
easy to laugh on others. दूसरों पे हंसना बहुत आसान है. मजा जब आए जब आप
खुद पे हंसो.
right. So what we'll do? We'll make a mirror of one of our hand, left or right, whatever is convenient to you. And please, I request everyone to participate. Nobody is looking at you. Just look, make a mirror. Okay, Manoj has already started. So, and you look at it and look yourself. No, kitna handsome. Yeah, at yourself. Beautiful. Om, ha, ha. Om, ha, ha. Om, ha, ha. Thank you so much. Keep laughing. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vinod.
Network and all. You guys are getting conscious.
It's a brilliant session. Thank you so much, Vinod Kumar. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
It
so
was
much.
wonderful.
Thank you.
And let me, in 1 minute, share. So 2 weeks ago, Shairi knows, my throat had gone bad. And even my husband was having these cough and cold and fever issues, whatever is happening in Gurgaon. So it was just 3 days, you do natural thing, you do fasting and everything, and you bounce back. We have not taken any medication, and it's not needed. Trust me, throughout the year, whatever health issues you have, stomach upset, cough, cold, headache, viral, anything, for these things, for 80% of your health issues, your body can heal itself. For 20%, if it is, organ damage or some surgery needed, you must go and consult a doctor. But for 80% of your health issues, you do not need. And the more you train your body to live without medicine, because medicine is always an external thing to your body. It's an alien thing which, body always tries to somehow process and throw it out, whatever is waste, right? So you make your body more independent and try to heal itself, and your immunity will be better if you always come out of any ailment and naturally. So people, once somebody asked me, आप तो naturopathy center चलाते हो, आप कैसे बीमार हो गए? But ऐसा नहीं है. External attackers को आप control नहीं कर सकते. If there is an outsider, this thing attacking, what you can do, what is important is how soon you bounce back, and are you bouncing back without any support on your own, and are you bouncing back stronger, with stronger energy, right? That's what is important. And it is again a learning process for your body. It's like COVID, एक बार जिसको हो रहा है उसको दोबारा नहीं हो रहा है, right? So it's an experience which you give to your body anytime you have any sickness. So try to choose nature first, try to heal on your own, and keep telling your body mentally also you can heal yourself. Stay healthy, and it was wonderful talking to all of you.
Thank you so much, Vinod. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Right.
people, anybody has specific question, they can reach out to me. You can share Shairi my details.
Sure, I
with them.
will share your email ID.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Vinod. This was
Thank
such
you.
a
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
everyone.